If you're wondering, my name is Terry Martin. I was here 4 years ago, if you were also here, and a lot has happened in that time. We're going to hear a lot about that over the next couple of days. I'll be with you through Friday, and it's going to be a really interesting, fascinating time, because this year we're looking not just at munition clearance, but also protection of critical infrastructure, and we're looking also changing our geographical scope to include Ukraine, where the issue of munitions clearance in the waters, rivers, and also in coastal regions is of great urgency, and we're very happy to have a delegation from Ukraine here for our last panel. Without further ado, I turn the floor over to Jann Wendt of North IO, the initiator of the Kiel Munition Clearance Week.
Hello? Perfect. Great. Thank you very much, Terry, for the introduction. So we are running behind schedule, so I will try to do my words a bit faster as well. Dear Minister Goldschmidt, dear Katja Mattes, the Director of GEOMA, dear Oliver Burkhardt, I think they are still down there with the press, CEO of TKMS, our main sponsor, dear friends and colleagues, especially from Ukraine as well, dear partners from science, industry, and politics, and dear also international guests who took the difficult ride to Kiel today. Welcome to the already second Kiel Munition Clearance Week, and in the end also welcome to Kiel. My name, as Terry already mentioned, is Jann Wendt. I'm the CEO of North.io, and I'm the original initiator of this forum 4 years ago. It's an honor to stand here in front of you again 4 years after the first gathering, and it's amazing to see also so many familiar faces. Again, I'm really looking forward to have hopefully a chat with everyone of you. The clearance of sea-dumped munitions is one of, for us, the most urgent, yet most often also overlooked still environmental and safety issues in our European waters. Our goal here at the Munition Clearance Week is to act as a catalyst. It's a specialized platform where we are here today, focusing on the legacy of conventional and chemical weapons dumped in our oceans. And it's also, more importantly, we want to focus on how we solve actually the problem and how we can safely remove this munition from our oceans. This year, as you maybe already realized, we are also expanding the conversation a bit. We are bringing in a second highly relevant topic in our global world, the protection also of critical underwater infrastructure, from pipelines to data cables to offshore energy systems and also to seabed sensors. There are deep synergies between these two fields. They rely on the same technologies, sonars, robotics, autonomous underwater systems, and also they require the same thing, a cooperation across borders, sectors, and disciplines. Since our last conference in 2021, really a lot has changed. Munition clearance has entered the political stage by incorporation into the German Federal Coalition Agreement already in 21. And I think maybe we also took a little part in this with this conference at that time. We've seen trial clearances successfully conducted, including the Baltic Sea pilot program, in German the so-called Sofort-Programm. We've seen the start of technological development for scalable solutions. And just last week at the UN Ocean Conference, the new Minister of Environment and also the French government announced a groundbreaking joint initiative, a cooperation that aims to develop and implement environmentally friendly methods for the safe recovery and destruction of underwater munitions. And they also want to establish a bilateral expert group. So we are eager to hear more about this in the future. I personally think this cooperation is a massive step forward, not only for Germany, but also for Europe, especially also including France as well into the topic. I'm proud as the CEO of North.io that once again we are co-organizing this event together with the Ministry of Energy, Transition, Climate Protection, Environment and Nature of Schleswig-Holstein, led by Minister Tobias Goldschmidt. Thank you for this, Minister, also for the trust in our work. Another very warm thank you goes also to Minister President Daniel Günther, who unfortunately cannot be here today, but again serves as a patron for this event. For us, it's also a sign of long-term commitment from the federal government here to the issue of fighting against munition in the sea. So what do we want to achieve this week? First, we want to learn about the most recent developments in technology and operational standards. We need scalable, safe, and cost-effective solutions to clear our seas of munitions. Second, to explore also cross-border collaboration between clearance and infrastructure security. We'll also have delegations from, for example, the German Navy, which are coming also in the later days. So we want to really see and get an understanding of how to cooperate in this field. And third, we want to turn this knowledge into policy and implementation roadmaps, not just talk, but hopefully also do something about it. To send a signal that the North and the Baltic Sea can become also a global role model for responsible, modern, and secure ocean management, especially in the field of munition clearance. And let Kiel and Northern Germany be the place where the solutions take shape. So my deepest thanks go to the state of Schleswig-Holstein, the Federal Ministry of Environment, our scientific partner, especially our conference science partner, GEOMA, our supporters and sponsors from industry. Also here, special thanks to our main sponsor, TKMS. Thanks for your commitment in this cause. Thank you all for being here, for being part of this mission, and for shaping the future of our oceans. Welcome to Kiel, and welcome to the Kiel Munition Clearance Week 2025.
Thank you very much, Jann. It's now my great pleasure to introduce the Minister of Energy Transition, Climate Protection, Environment and Nature, has an acronym MEKUN, of Schleswig-Holstein. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Tobias Goldschmidt.
Dear guests from science, business, administration and politics, dear lovers of a clean, healthy, safe and peaceful ocean, thanks for asking me to open this important conference. The largest freighters in the world can roughly load about 400,000 tons. These ships are over 350 meters long and 60 meters wide and 35 meters high. Perhaps you have seen them on the Elbe or in the Hamburg port, and multiply the load of those ships with 4, then we have an idea of what munitions or what amount of munitions are stored on the seabed not far from our coasts. 1.6 million tons of shells and bullets are 1.6 million tons of danger to us as humans, of danger to our tourism sector, of danger to our ecosystems. You don't really want to think about it that much in such detail, and that is exactly what happened for decades. The issue of dumped munitions in the Baltic Sea and in the North Sea is not a new issue, it's an old issue, but we started to tackle it only about 10 years ago. And today it's in the spotlight of politics, as Mr. Wendt just mentioned. So we have a task and a responsibility. We have a duty to the environment and a duty to the people who live on, with, and from the sea. 80 years after the end of the war, we are dealing with an ever-increasing risk for the North Sea and for the Baltic Sea, and ultimately also a risk to us as humans. So we are in a race with corrosion. The munitions on the seabed are rusting. Some of the explosives are now exposed and poisoning our oceans. Chemical compounds typical of explosives have already been detected in the food chain thanks to the work, for example, of Professor Mather, who is with us. It's now highly time to act. In addition to the environment, the munitions also threaten shipping, fishing, tourism, infrastructures, and they are actually also a threat in terms of international security. It's therefore clear that we in Schleswig-Holstein, as a state between two oceans, are particularly concerned, and our population is concerned too. It's not an issue for experts, It's an issue broadly discussed in the local population. At the same time, it's highly complicated to salvage the ammunition precisely because it was dumped decades ago and precisely because it's already rusting. I'm delighted to be able to welcome all of you to this event today, and I'm also doing that on behalf of the government of Schleswig-Holstein and of Prime Minister Daniel Günther, who is today with Friedrich Merz and cannot be with us. He would have loved to be with us because it's an important issue in his agenda too. Here in Kiel, just a stone's throw away from the Baltic Sea, international experts from science, business, from public authority and from the navies are coming together. We are expecting around 200 experts from 16 countries. It's an international meeting because it's an international issue. Among those experts are representatives from the EU Commission, from federal and state authorities, from NATO, German Navy and international navies, industry, science, and from the environmental sector. A warm welcome to all of you. I'd particularly like to emphasize the participation of a Ukrainian delegation who are represented here despite the fact that there's a brutal war ongoing in their country. I'd like to extend a special and warm welcome to you. With your expertise and with your very single perspective, you are making an important contribution to this conference here today in Kiel. Today we are here to talk about approaches to actually removing munitions from the sea. The Kiel Munition Clearance Week covers all key topics and aspects. Technological innovations for the identification and removal of munitions are presented here. This also includes the robotics and unmanned systems that I already saw next door in the exhibition. The use of geodata and artificial intelligence to make disposal more efficient is also discussed at this conference. The conference is also about protecting critical infrastructure such as offshore wind farms, pipelines, communications cables from the dangers of munitions. And it's about international cooperation in all those fields. And when I say that something is happening regarding munitions in the seas, I also mean the German government's immediate action program. In the Lübeck Bay, here in Schleswig-Holstein, only 50 or 60 kilometers away, for the first time an attempt was made to especially recover munitions in 3 areas. A number of valuable findings were made in the process, and I'm sure those findings will be discussed at this conference in detail. Last year, we also founded the Center of Munitions Management in the Marine Environment. MUNIMA, as we call it, combines the 3 pillars of science, business, and administration in order to better structure and standardize the processes involved in munition disposal. It's a competence center here in Kiel in Schleswig-Holstein. We are building a network with MUNIMA. Partners are Schleswig-Holstein Ministry of Environment, the GEOMA Institute, Professor Mattes is with us, and the Regional Chamber of Commerce. Here in Schleswig-Holstein, we have jointly established the starting point for making the Baltic Sea a pilot region for munition recovery. You guys are the experts on this topic, and we want to utilize your experience, your knowledge, your expertise to discuss solutions. Politicians want and need to benefit from your expertise. After all, we want to make decisions about future solutions on the basis of scientific results and at the same time economically. Let us use this conference for dialogue and for cooperation. That alone is a positive contribution to solving the complex task. We can make the Baltic Sea the first munition-free marine region. I wish you and all of us, a successful event, good discussions and good results for the seas and for the people. It's a generational task, and it's a generational investment in a clean, healthy, safe, and secure ocean. Let's tackle it. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for being in Kiel, and enjoy the conference.